SMT Nation, we back. Looks like we got a problem for T-Mobile again. All right, these types of things continue to plague them, and I've said it before. I think their big mouth has gotten them some karma to eat. They're getting back what was dished out to them over the last several years. That's what I think is happening here. All right, so the title of the article, Dish and AT&T object to SpaceX and T-Mobile spectrum request. This has to do with T-Mobile and SpaceX's partnership to have satellite service, fallback service on T-Mobile customers' handsets when they don't have terrestrial coverage. Okay, so this is quite interesting. Let's cover it in today's video. Link for the article will be in the description. Also in the description is the Real SMT Buy Me Coffee link. Keep the SMT caffeinated and motivated. Use that link, get us a coffee, show your appreciation for all the content here on the channel. And if you're looking for a really good deal on wireless service and you want to take advantage of this amazing promotion, the deflation promo is active using the SMT mintmobile.com partner link, which is in the description. Use it, mintmobile.com/sneed, S-N-E-E-D, and you can unlock savings. Get even better deals than their flat rate. All right, right now you can get any plan for $15 a month. That includes even their $30 unlimited plan. So cut that in half and get that great deal. Use our link. It's in the description. All right, so let's look at the situation here. In April, the FCC has been receiving open comments to hear what, if anybody has any objections or issue with the SpaceX and T-Mobile partnership to bring forth a supplemental wireless coverage from space satellite to customers' handsets. All right, T-Mobile and SpaceX first announced this last year, and they had like a big old event. And of course, it's a great idea, and I love the concept. But there are some technical things that have to be kind of proven before they can actually do this, and that's why the FCC has these types of things. Now, SpaceX does have a lot of satellites that are in orbit, what are known as LEO satellites, which basically means there are just going to have to be some modifications to those satellites so that T-Mobile can broadcast a signal from the satellites to user handsets when they don't have regular terrestrial T-Mobile coverage. All right, so what's being regarded as Earth to space and space to Earth, that's downlink and uplink, right, for a user who's connecting to a satellite. What T-Mobile wants to do is give 5 megahertz of G block, which is band 2, right, PCS spectrum. You guys may have heard of this before, which I think the G block comes from Sprint. But it's 5 megahertz of downlink and 5 megahertz of uplink. The downlink frequency is 1910 to 1915, and the uplink frequency from 1990 to 1995. And I think it's the other way around. The lower frequency is for uplink. Anyways, anybody who has objection to this has until June 2nd to make those comments, and it looks like there are some concerns. AT&T was one of them. We covered that previously. You know, they had concerns about possible interference, having co-channel operations. Remember, every carrier in the country basically has band 2, right? So there is a legitimate concern to see if there's any proof that there is no interference. That's what T-Mobile and SpaceX Starlink have to show. They have to show that they're not going to be creating any type of disharmony within the operation of these frequencies. So AT&T put that in there and definitely stated it. And obviously we speculated that maybe AT&T was trying to slow down their progress. But you have to prove and you have to show that you're not going to be causing interference. And that is true. These are technicalities that you must provide. You have to show the research, you have to show the testing, the experiments, and prove that there's not going to be any problems created from your operations. Meanwhile, AT&T has a partnership with AST, right, to kind of do its similar type of thing, space to mobile communications. And, that's also part of this, I think. I think that's in the fray. And, of course, T-Mobile has a big mouth. They've talked a lot of shit over the years, and I think some of that is coming back to haunt them, right? And, Dish also chiming in. They also filed a comment here with their frequency. They've got the AWS-4 spectrum and the H block kind of being a neighboring band, right? Even they're trying to kind of throw their name into this. And I think this one is less of a concern from a technical aspect. Anybody who is an RF engineer or within these industries can maybe comment on this. I know AWS is a much higher frequency it's up into the 2000 range. I think like 2100. I think the downlink is in the 1700. The uplink is uplink is in the 1700. Downlink is in the 2100 for AWS band 66. But again, they're saying the same thing. You got to prove that you're not going to create any interference to existing adjacent bands. Especially in this new type of use case, which that's true. It's not the same, right? They got to prove it. So it goes on. There were some Rural Wireless Association filed complaints as well, comments, I should say. They're a little bit hesitant because the 1895 to 1910 frequency and the PCS-C block band and the 1975 to 1990 frequency, they're neighboring. So you've got a couple things going on here. You've got companies which have an axe to grind with T-Mobile because of the things that they've done in the past and things that they've said. And then you've got the technical aspect, and I think both of them are legitimate possibilities. So we can sit here and we can speculate, but the fact is T-Mobile and Starlink are going to have to prove that they are not going to make new problems for these operators who use these frequencies on terrestrial settings. All right, and AT&T with AST and Verizon with Amazon Quipper or whatever it's called, they all have to show and prove the same thing. You're not creating networking related issues just by having your service. They got to show, they got to prove. That's the technical aspects. What do you guys think it is, though? Do you guys think it's both of these things being the problem? Do you think it's just people trying to stand in T-Mobile's way? I don't think it's people trying to stand in T-Mobile's way. I think there's some technical aspects to this, but it doesn't surprise me that Dish is coming up to swing a little bit at T-Mobile after the way they've been treated and railroaded by T-Mobile in the past, and of course AT&T as well. They've been, they've been on the other end of the grunt of T-Mobile taking shots at them for years, and I think some of that's coming back to haunt them. But you do have that third party, right? The rural wireless carriers, they're objecting too, and they don't have an axe to grind with T-Mobile. But what do you guys think? Sound off in the comment section below. You are the voice of the people, the SMT Nation. Let your voice be heard.